would you like to hit the send button on an email and make $10,000, $50,000, or maybe even $100,000 or more? Believe it or not, these are very real results from some big-time email marketers. And before you think of spam, which regretfully some of them are guilty of, a lot of people make a lot of money legitimately with email marketing. The phrase to remember is double opt-in. This means that someone has opted in to receive email correspondence from some individual or company, and it's a standard in email marketing today. Once a prospect signs up to your email list, there are services called autoresponders who manage the communication between you and your prospects. So just what is an autoresponder? Simply put, they allow you to create a preset series of email messages that automatically go out to people on your list based upon a schedule determined by you and based upon when they're added to your list. Here's an example. Let's say Johnny Websurfer visits a popular weight loss supplement website in search of the latest information on weight loss pills. As he scrolls down the page, he notices a box that states, "Learn the 10 weight loss pills you must avoid at all costs. Get our free weight loss supplement report." Given that this is information Johnny was specifically looking for, he realizes that he must enter his name and email in order to receive the free report. He promptly signs up and in a matter of minutes receives a confirmation email asking whether or not he did in fact sign up to receive this free report. He clicks the confirmation link and immediately receives an email titled, "The Weight Loss Supplement Report, Part 1. After pouring through the information, he is so excited to have found this excellent information on which supplements to avoid. He anxiously awaits the second part to the report, and 2 days later, he receives another email titled, "The Weight Loss Supplement Report, Part 2. With Part 2 having even more great information, Johnny discovers that the third and final section will be sent out the following day. Sure enough, 24 hours later, to the minute, he receives the Weight Loss Supplement Report Part 3, and is really impressed by the timeliness of the company sending these informative reports. Johnny is really happy with the quality of the information he received and decides to return to the site and purchase their top-rated supplement. Upon purchasing the supplement, Johnny receives an email once a week helping him utilize the best strategies for maximizing his weight loss from using this new diet pill. Now, the above example details the entire process behind autoresponders. The website owner is able to write a preset series of messages. It can be 1, 5, even 100 plus messages they want their subscribers to receive, and then they tell their autoresponder of choice when to send them out. For instance, message 1 will be sent immediately when the person subscribes to the list. Message 2 will be sent 48 hours later. Message 3 maybe 48 hours after that, and so on. Chances are you've seen these types of sign-up boxes on numerous websites, probably even signed up for a few yourself. Well, most likely, the website owner is utilizing autoresponders somewhere in their website, and they can be a great way to get people on your list so you can remarket to them later, no matter if you do business online or offline. Autoresponders have so much mass appeal that no matter if your business is real estate or ant farms, you can keep your customers and your potential customers informed through relation-building emails, reports, reviews, and more. And the great part, it's all automated. When you hear people talk about building your list, what they mean is basically your customers or subscribers who have opted to receive information from you or purchased a product from you in the past. Many of the biggest marketers in the world will say time and time again that the real money is in your list. And to a certain degree, they're right. Now, from my vantage point, I would have to say this really depends on what the focus of your business is. Some people focus on the quote toll booth approach, where the one-time sale is really all they care about. Generally, this comprises the majority of affiliate marketers. They're primarily concerned with getting a customer to a merchant site and then having that customer make a purchase and earn a commission in the process. They might not care about remarketing to that customer at a later date. They are perfectly content with focusing on the initial sale and then doing that over and over and over again. But what about those of you who have a business and who want a way to not only keep in touch with your customers or subscribers, but let them know about future promotions, discounts, and other things related to your business? What can you do? Well, you guessed it, you need to build a list. What I've learned, though, is that there is power in a list if, and this is a big if you have a good relationship with the people on your list. Here's a real-life story to prove the point. I own a few sites that have been gathering subscribers for several years. For the majority of that time, they've sat in my autoresponder account with relatively no relationship building on my part. Now, just so we're clear, I don't endorse the constant bombardment of messages to your subscribers. Nothing will create more unsubscribers fast than doing just that. But not sending anything can be equally as detrimental. The problem with doing nothing with your subscribers is that you don't have any kind of personal relationship with them when the time comes that you do want to send them something or you want them to buy something. If out of the blue I were to send them a message after 2 years, they, one, would have totally forgotten about signing up in the first place and immediately think it was junk, or two, think, who in the heck is this guy just now sending me something after all this time? It's really about balance. What you must remember is that when a person subscribes to receive information from you, they want and expect to receive information from you. Too often, people focus too much attention or too little attention on their subscribers, and in turn, disenfranchise a large group of these people and end up not reaping the benefits of a well-maintained list. I think the majority of the problem rests in the fact that people forget they are dealing with real people on the other end of that email. So much of what the internet represents to marketers is numbers, click-through rates, and other numerical metrics. We forget that, like in real life, successful businesses are built upon personal relationships. We must treat our subscribers and customers like our best friends, or even better. The goal is not to always send them the next great product they must have. The goal is not to always focus on extracting the greatest amount of money out of each subscriber. And the goal is not to focus on what they can do for you. Now, in fact, if that's your focus, then any success you might find will be short-lived and fleeting. What I've found time and time again, in both internet marketing and in brick-and-mortar businesses, as I've done both, is that when I take the time to build a relationship with my customers, I create a dynamic that is much more about helping than selling. And that's a big secret. You see, if I don't accomplish that relationship dynamic, and if my subscribers think that every time they receive something from me, it's going to be about something else they need to buy, then ultimately, I'll fail. Instead, if I can focus and treat my valuable subscribers as the lifeblood to my business, treating them as I would a family member or a close friend, then I will have a successful business. Not necessarily because I make the most sales with the most people, but because I provide value to those who have put their trust and faith in me, and in turn allow me to make the most sales from the right people. I heard a fellow marketer once say something that I now try to live by when it comes to business, and I challenge you to the same. It goes something like this. Instead of asking, how can I get 1 million people to give me $1? Ask the following. How can I give 1 million people $100 in value while asking for $10 in return? Now, at first glance, the true power in that statement might not hit you. Go back and reread it one more time. The first question focuses on what I can get my customers to do for me, which, when you think about it, is the absolute opposite of the whole point of providing a product or service to begin with. It's not about money. It's about addressing a need that in turn produces money, not the other way around. The second question focuses on the true reason behind offering a product. It's because the customer is the one benefiting, and in a huge way. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm probably one of the most capitalistic people you can meet. I love the idea of business and creating wealth out of ideas and services. But what I've discovered is that every time I focus on providing 10 times or more the value for every dollar I ask back in return, I always end out coming ahead, as does my customer. The point of this little tangent is this. Make sure you know the exact solution your products address and the people who are most interested in knowing it. Then build a relationship with them, a personal relationship with each and every subscriber. So creating a list is very important, but it's more important how that list is maintained. You must remember that your list is much more than a name and email address. There is a real person at the other end of that information. And to maximize both your profits and their satisfaction, you must treat them with a level of care no less than what you would expect if you were in their shoes. Here are a few best practices to remember for building and maintaining a good relationship with your subscribers. Number 1, do not just send pitches to buy products, whether they're yours or something you're affiliated with. Number 2, revisit number 1. Number 3, revisit number 1 again. Are you catching my drift? Number 4, Don't send pointless emails. If you don't have something valuable to say, don't send anything at all, and don't waste the time of your subscribers. Number 5, send special reports that are free and of immense value given the focus of your niche or product. Number 6, here's a novel idea. Send out simple 2 to 3 question polls asking your subscribers something they might want to know more about given the scope of your product or service. This is a great thing to do and something I hardly ever see people do when it comes to email marketing. Number 7, keep your subscribers up to date with the big personal things in your life. Nothing builds rapport better than sending out short emails about exciting things in your life. If you're not comfortable with that, post it to a blog. People like to buy from people they know, and when you give them opportunities to know you, the relationship goes a little deeper. Number 8, the best friend test. Ask yourself whether or not you would send this message to your best friend, assuming they had expressed interest, of course, in your area of expertise. If the answer is no, if the answer is maybe, don't send it. And number 9, the golden rule still applies. Send unto others what you would have them send unto you. Let's take a look at some numbers to really hit this point home. Suppose you have 10,000 subscribers, and you've taken the time to develop a mutually beneficial relationship where they feel 1, like you are a true friend, and 2, trust your opinion and view you as an expert given your area of expertise. Imagine there is a product or service that will address a specific need they have, and after your investigation, you decide this is truly something your subscribers will benefit from having. After crafting a wonderful message, you hit that send button. Now, before we crunch the numbers, let's backtrack for a minute and see what would happen if you had not taken the time to develop a good relationship with your subscribers. And regretfully, this is something I know from personal experience. Here's what will happen. You get a lot of people who click the unsubscribe link. After all, they just as fast assume it was spam since they don't even recognize who you are. Remember the whole part about getting a list but never do anything with it until you want them to buy something? Yeah, now you see why you shouldn't be doing that. Secondly, maybe only 5 to 10% of your subscribers will even open the message. With a list of 10,000, that would be 500 to 1,000. So okay, that's a pretty big number. We can live with that. Or can we? Of the 500 to 1,000 that open the message, only 10% of those actually click through to see the product you're recommending. 50 to 100. Okay, not too many, but hey, it's still 50 to 100 targeted clicks, right? Now of those who actually open the message and click through to the product, only 1% of your subscribers make a purchase. So when you do all the number crunching, that comes down to 1 sale. You then decide it wasn't a good product and it wasn't your fault and email marketing doesn't work and you just move on. Now let's take the same 10,000 subscribers and see what happens when you developed a good relationship, establish yourself as an authority, and you send out this same message. For starters, you might get a couple unsubscribers. That's completely normal. But since your list knows you only send out really quality information with very few product pitches or things for them to buy, they know this must be something to look at. Next, let's say you get 75% of your subscribers to open the message. That'd be about 7,500 people. Of those 7,500, let's say another 75% of them click through to see the product. That would be about 5,600 people. And because it came so highly recommended from you, the friend and expert, and then let's add to that a high converting sales page. Let's say you see a conservative 15% conversion rate. You know what that would equal? 840 sales. Now imagine the commission was $30. Well, in that one email, you've just made $25,200 in one email. Before you think that's impossible, let me tell you it most certainly is not. As a matter of fact, I know of fellow marketers who make much more than that with just one email. And believe me, it was not because they were hyping the product as something their subscribers had to have. Lists can be of immense value when handled appropriately. If you're going to take the time to build an internet business, or if you have a business that you're trying to take and move online to get more customers online, take the time to build your list right. Focus your efforts on making sure the customer ends up with 10 times or more value for every dollar you ask for in return. And then treat each and every one of them as you would your very best friend. If and when you do this, you will inevitably find success with email marketing.
There is one essential element that every online business owner and internet marketer needs, and that's list building. Do you have it? In my free 12-day e-course, I'll be introducing you to the basics of list building that can start working for you to produce more traffic, more leads, and of course, more customers in your business. Once you register on the next page, I'll show you exactly why it's so important to build your list, what list building is all about, how to build your lists, and then what to do with them to get maximum conversion. And the best part, you can do it all without any prior list building experience and with little money. You can't afford to ignore list building any longer. Isn't it time you do it right? Click the link below to get started now.